Perfect. Here we go. This is it. This is episode 377 of No Laugh Track Podcast. I am Justin Severson, the host. I'm here at Acme Comedy Company Studios, I think we're calling it now, because we're doing live broadcast. This isn't live technically, but live shows with Greg Coleman last night and the rest of the week doing stand-up.
Yes.
How you doing, Greg?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Very good, because this is now 2 weeks in a row that I've been able to come here and do the podcast, and I haven't come here 2 weeks in a row for like 4 months. So This is a good streak.
Yeah. Well, hopefully we can keep it rolling.
Yeah. Yep. How do I start this with you? How have you been? It's been let's see. Let's go back. I'm going to set you up here. So, Let's go back to pre-COVID when everything shut down. How did things change for you? Where were you when things started shutting down? Did you have dates on the calendar? Did you have to cancel a bunch of stuff? I heard some things you said in your set last night that I'm going to ask you about, but go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, things were really changing for me pre-COVID. I left the day job and had a lot of things on my calendar.
Yeah.
And I started doing some just like more corporate stuff. Which is like, oh, okay, like you know how you'll set it up, like, okay, I can be bossing here, and then I can do shows at night and stuff like that. So I got in a nice little rotation, a nice little schedule.
So you're talking like on the road, like?
Yeah, like pretty much I was basically gearing up to be on the road for pretty much the rest of the year. Like I had the next 6 months plotted out.
No way.
Yeah, and then it was the week where everything got shut down. I was supposed to be going to New York, so I had a lot of good things and shows and showcases and people to meet, and people to be seen by. And then I was like, yeah, we got to shut it down. Like we're not.
No.
Yeah, because all those shows started getting canceled.
Yeah.
The corporate stuff got canceled first. And the corporate stuff got canceled like Sunday. They're like, hey, cancel your flight. And I was supposed to leave Sunday morning.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, man, I still have these shows. And then the shows started getting canceled. So that made it a little bit easier to know, like, all right, even if I would have went, they would have got canceled, but it would have sucked. Cause, because a lot of those things, you know, are people you hope to get in front of. And all that stuff shut down. And I had I had a nice chunk of change. Damn. That got rearranged or lost or canceled.
Because what they're doing at Acme now, we should say that, and then I got so many more questions about that, is starting last night, you were here on stage doing the live show.
Yeah.
So there was a crowd here of their maximum capacity right now is 75.
Yep.
And I heard we got almost to that last night.
Yeah, almost.
Almost. Very close.
Oh, very close, man.
Very, very close. So that's a very good sign. People are excited to be back here at Acme, and people can't really see it right now, but the tables are all spaced 6 feet apart.
Yep.
People had masks on.
Some people, yeah. Most of the people had masks
when they walked in, they had them on, right?
Yeah, they had them on, and then they're like, the lights are off. Let me slide it down a little bit. You know what I mean?
Staff had them on, right?
Yeah, for sure. All the staff had them on. They did a really good job at keeping it as safe as you can be. And there's hand sanitizer and Clorox all around this place, just in case if you want to take a shot of the Clorox and kill the COVID from the inside.
On the inside and the outside.
Yeah, the inside. And, yeah, we got the spacing. We got these hockey boards in front of the stage.
Yeah, they were here last week when I talked to Brian Miller. They've been painted black since then.
Yeah.
But still the same space, keeping people 6 feet from the stage.
Yeah, I thought it was more of a security thing than COVID.
But they better be a little higher for that then if you really want protection.
Yeah, that is true. But yeah.
So I bring that up, we get that out of the way here because I didn't come to the club last night, but I did watch through Zoom. I watched the whole set. It was you and Mike Hurley and Ali Sultan all worked last night. It was like a normal set, feature, MC, headliner Greg Coleman, and I thought it went really well. And one of the things that you mentioned in your stand-up is that you quit that day job. And I had no idea.
Yeah.
So that as soon as I heard that, I'm like, oh, that's a big change for Greg. So I want to go back here. Which one came first? You started lining up your summer, and then that all like, I got it. Now I can finally quit. this day job? How long were you working on that?
I mean, I would say the transition was pretty quick. Like, I'd always had plans to get out of the day job. And that's, nothing against that. Like, I enjoy my time in youth development and, still go volunteer and go help out with that type of stuff.
You will.
When the time allows.
Yeah.
But it kind of went from the end of January to the middle of February, where things switched quickly. This other opportunities presented itself, as far as like, oh, I could do both. Like it was the perfect job for killing two birds with one stone.
Sure.
So, spend the daytime doing the corporate stuff, which, was like the people who hired me, they knew that this is what I did.
Mm-hmm.
So they're like, hey, here's an opportunity. You can kind of do both. Like after you're done doing with us,
Yeah.
go do your thing. And my schedule was set up doing a lot of travel on the East Coast and the South. I was specifically placed a lot of places where there were clubs that there are pretty good clubs and stuff like that.
Have you done that type of trip before? Hitting for a long period of time, hitting the road?
Yeah, so I would quietly go places. I would quietly go take trips and go do shows.
Okay.
And stuff like that here and there, and even like, all right, I'm gonna take a day off work, go do a show here, come back.
Okay.
I don't necessarily like to put everything out there about what I'm doing, because it's just, I don't know. I just like to just quietly go do the work, and then,
there's some people in your business that would say that that's a terrible idea, that you should have everything out there.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, it
Right?
is. Yeah, I guess so. Some people like
I'm not saying you're right or wrong. I'm just for argument's sake.
Yeah, it's just the pick and choose, and then because I even kind of like quietly left my job, and it wasn't until the last day. Some people are like, wait, what? This is your last day? I'm like, yeah.
Okay.
And there wasn't a lot of turnover, but it's just. I just kind of like to move in silence, and then when I got to be loud about something, I'll be loud about something. But,
Sure.
Yeah.
So I want to know. So now, we discussed a little bit. There's live comedy back at Acme. People can actually come here, get dinner. I should mention that I talked about this briefly before we started recording. The insider deal they have going here on Wednesday and Thursday this week. You already missed last night.
Yeah, you
probably
missed.
Gonna miss tonight. It's probably full. I don't know. Call Acme and see if you can get in.
Yeah.
$10 and you get a dinner. You get dinner, a drink, and you get in the show.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
That's a hell of a deal.
Are you kidding me?
That's a hell of a deal. You need to come take advantage of that. So I
Kidding
can get
me?
the trickle down 37 cents of that $27. Yeah, it was great. Like, I feel like the people who came out and the people who come out are people who want to be here.
Yeah.
And just kind of like get out the house and see something different. So yeah,
How
it's a heck of a
has
deal.
the quarantine been for you? Is there a way you can explain that? Overall?
It's been overall, I'd say it was positive. Like, I would go through stints where you feel like, oh, okay, I miss the element of performance. And even Zoom shows. Started doing a couple Zoom shows.
Yeah.
Did a show here with them, and then did some virtual open mics and stuff like that.
Where you're at home.
Yeah.
Like in your living room or bedroom or something.
Yeah. I was set up at home. And that was it started scratching a little bit of the itch, because when quarantine first hit, you're just kind of down in the dumps because you don't know what's going to go on. All I know is that my March and April just vanished, and it's like it's like you're planning to remodel your home. You're like, oh, okay, like you're banking on the bonus.
Yeah. So
I was counting dates and money and stuff that I was like, oh, okay, this is going to be a good March. This is going to be a good April. We're going to be okay. And then each week, hey, this is getting canceled. We got to move this till October or blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And then it's like, okay. And then, this is like, I always want to say, this is my therapy or whatever, but there's something cathartic about being able to get on stage and have that interaction.
It is for me coming here once a week to do the podcast.
Yeah.
So absolutely.
Yeah. So it was like someone took away your superpowers for a little bit, and then I just had to reshift and refocus and put my energy into different things, and also just try to look busy because my wife was at home and she was still working.
Okay. Do you have a good trick to look busy?
Yeah, kinda. I did for a little bit, but then I ran out of stuff, and then I just started bothering her.
Did you fix anything around the house?
Not as much as you would think. Like, I called a couple people to come fix it.
Good intentions.
Yeah,
all right.
exactly. Like, we live in a building. I'm like, nah, association, have them take care of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah.
I rent, so I can't do much either.
Yeah, exactly.
I can point at it.
Right? And then you just start buying stuff. And you're like, you put this together. I was like, nah, I'm not. No, that's not what I do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, I mean, overall, I would say it was pretty positive. Got to work on our relationship as a first year of marriage.
Mm-hmm.
So that could have either been really detrimental.
Right.
Or
this could have been the worst timing for that or great timing for that. Yeah.
Yeah. And it was.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it ended up being, I was in a situation where I was basically going to be gone most of the week and most of the weeks. Like 3 out of 4 weeks I'm gone. I'm gone 4 or 5 days out the week. So that was a new normal. So we were getting kind of used to that. And then, like, we're home on the couch just looking at each other.
Has anyone had your wife on a podcast to ask her how she feels about you being around more?
Oh, no, not yet. I don't even think she knows that's a possibility. So we're going to edit this out. We're going to edit that part. Cut. Yeah, so no, it's been good. This is the jump in back part. We're jumping right back in. Yep. No, it's been good. It's been great. She's happy with everything.
That's perfect.
Yeah.
That's perfect. I do want to know, had you, like when you were doing these sets on Zoom from home, and how was that for you with the, like here now that there's a crowd back at Acme, like last night you had crowd reaction. You had real crowd reaction.
Yeah.
Zoom, I mean, I named this podcast all these years ago No Laugh Track, like because
because
kind
you're
of
a thinking man.
Yeah, but kind of based on the fact that like my favorite, sitcoms, they didn't have to tell me where the funny part was. They didn't have to listen for the laugh to know, but here now that laugh is back, but it's with the Zoom.
Yeah, I mean,
it can be tricky. You might not hear anybody. It might be delayed.
Yeah,
How was that for you?
I would say out of all of the online things and shows, Zoom felt the closest to the club because you can unmute and hear some reactions.
Yeah.
Like we did live stream on YouTube and people can watch, but you don't have you don't have any type of reaction.
Yeah.
And then doing things on like Instagram or Facebook Live, like you might see comments here or there or see a little emoji and then be like, oh, okay. But like you're trying not to read the comments, but at least with Zoom you can hear, the couple laughs like the shows we did with Zoom here.
Yeah.
Like, I felt like those were really fun. Like, the first one, I was a little like, oh, okay, let's go. And then Jackie Cation told me, she's like, dude, just look at it like a new club. Like you're going to a new room or something like that. And then I was like, oh, you know what? Yeah, you're right. And then, it was good. It was fun. And I've done a couple other shows. And I feel like people are really, like, they give you some patience. Because they know it's new for everybody, and half the time they're just happy to see somebody else.
Absolutely. I think I've said this on the podcast already since we've been back, but I was apprehensive about like, what is this going to be? This whole Zoom thing. What was that going to be like? And the first one I watched, I was like, this is way better than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
It's still comedy.
Yeah.
I'm still watching people work hard to try to work on the material, get some laughs. It's different, but not that different. But it is.
Yeah.
The live experience is better.
Yeah, the live experience is better, especially like sometimes I like to create attention in the room and then release.
You are good at that.
Yes. That was hard to do, when I'm doing a show at home, trying to get riled up about something and like my wife's just laying on the bed petting the dog. I'm just like, got
to kind of put blinders on.
Right, got to put blinders on and got to adjust. I was like, well, I can't say what I was going to say. Now she's looking at me. Yeah. But yeah, no, it's good. It's good to be back.
I have to. I have to ask this. So, last night, I think it was one of the first things you said when you got out on stage was just like how I don't remember exactly how you put it, but basically like in the time it's weird to come out and be funny, like or that's your focus when the world has been fucking,
especially
turn on the news, get on social media, talk to anybody, and we're in a crazy time where a lot of things are in our faces right now for good reason.
Yeah, that's
but a lot of things happening right now aren't funny.
Yeah, and that's the like I had a conversation just today about it, because especially being here in Minneapolis, like that's ground zero for a lot of the Black Lives Matter stuff and police reform and just whatever. And it was kind of funny. Like I was getting back used to the process of like, oh, okay, let's do jokes again before everything happened. Like, because I knew like a big batch of material I just put out and it's been recorded and going through the album process and what jokes to use, what jokes not to use.
Yeah.
And then all of this hit, and then I haven't thought about comedy for 3 weeks. Like I had these booked before all that stuff went down, but it was just supposed to be the Zoom shows. We didn't know if we were going to have a live audience. So I was like,
true.
All right, cool. Let me start writing again. And then all that stuff happened. Then my attention went to that, and either it was protests or being out in the streets and just kind of like helping with volunteer stuff. And I was doing a lot of things that I was like, oh, I'm just an idea guy, and talking with businesses, trying to get them hooked up to like, all right, let's go try to fix this business, or let's go try to get these people money or stuff like that. And normally I do a lot of social commentary in my comedy, but it's just like I didn't want to force it too much because like even with the stuff I've had before, it takes a lot out of you to do those bits, in and out. And then like I just didn't want to like pull them out because like, oh, I have these. I've been talking about this because it didn't feel like super authentic to me in the moment. And then I'm like fighting with myself. It's like, well, if I don't bring it up, does it feel like I'm not talking about it or whatever? So it's just been just trying to focus on some of the, jokes and social commentary. But I've just been trying to wait for like the right moment to be like, okay, when it comes out, it's going to come genuine. It's going to come out well thought and not just, preachy.
Yeah. Ali addressed some things last night when he was on stage.
Yeah. And like Ali, he did, a great job with a lot of the volunteer stuff. And he was out in the streets, every day. Like every once in a while I had to call him back. Ali, drink water. Just go sit down. Like every once in a while, I'll just text him randomly. It'll be like 2 a.m. You're like, hey, Greg, what about this? I'm like, Ali, sit down.
Mm-hmm.
Just like go to sleep. It's 2 a.m. So it's been a strange process to get back to the funny. I mean, there's always going to be, funny and time to find it. But it's just like, everybody's on their own different path, how much stuff you're submerged in.
Sure.
Like however you can disconnect and do that. So I'm in the process of trying to figure out what's next for me in this new flow.
That's a good way to put it. I was very happy when I saw that when Ali posted his COVID test and it came back negative a week or so ago.
Yeah. He was out there. We were out there. I was like, I'm gonna get mine tested after I do this.
I saw on your Twitter. Were you out on the bridge that day when the guy in the semi?
Yeah,
you were.
Yeah,
holy shit, man.
Yeah, it was we were on the side of where the truck came, so intentions or whatnot. So what happened, and I'm so thankful that this happened, is that like moments before the truck came, everybody did a moment of silence. So everybody was taking a knee on the bridge, and it was quiet. And then, like, as soon as that moment of silence was done, like, we're towards, like, the back. Like, everybody got up, and then people in the front, you could see it start, like, dispersing a little bit or just, like, hearing. And I didn't even necessarily like connect that like, oh, something's coming. But like as soon as we got up, I told my wife, I was like, hey, I want to go on the median, because we were at the space where the bridges finally come back together and you can get up on the median. So, and we were like literally in the middle of the freeway towards the backside. So I'm walking over, and as soon as I'm walking over, like helping my wife up on the median, like people start running and rushing, and then my wife's like, God, there's a semi. She's like, Greg, get up, get up, get up. And then so I turn around and see the semi coming. So, you know, helping putting people up on the median, and then jump on the median. And then some people are running towards us, and we don't know what it is at that point.
Right.
You know, you first
Right.
want to go back and, you know, like, yo, what the hell is going on? And like, is anybody hurt type of situation? But then, you know, we see it's a tanker, and it's kind of like, yo, I don't know if there's a but. Like, maybe I've watched too many 24s.
Right, right.
And
You got 10 seconds. This shit's about to detonate or
yeah,
something, right?
like
yeah.
so
Who
at
knows?
yeah.
Maybe it's full of fucking 100 other people are gonna come out and kick some ass. Who knows?
Yeah, and so at that point, and there was like young people kind of around, so I was like, this point, I just tried to get as many people away from that, and I kind of turned into like, I don't know, it was dab mode or sergeant mode or whatever, but it was just like, all right, anyone under the sound of my voice, let me use my voice, because I know I have a big voice. So it was like, yo, like, we don't know what's going on. It's a semi. We need to go. So basically it was, hey, yelling, everybody put your cell phone down. Like, put your phones down. Let's get in one accord and try to move this group towards this side. Then we finally get off the other bridge. And then we're in the grass, and then there's fences there.
Yeah.
So I'm sitting here yelling like, all right, here's what you do. Everybody grab somebody by the hand. Make sure you're picking your feet up. Let's turn sideways. Because I'm like, if we're all walking down and going forward and rushing, it's going to create a tumble. And then you start seeing people like, okay, turn sideways, turn sideways. Will you chop your feet? Chop your feet. Let's move sideways. And then there's a bridge there, or there's a fence there. And people are trying to push it down and trying to lift people over. So I get my wife up because they have the beams, you know. So I get her over, a couple of people over, and then I'm like, I got to try to get these beams down. So I start like kind of bear pushing like this beam down to make it easier for people to get over. Then like push and get this beam down. And then other people started coming in and just make it as easy as possible, or just try to do like less confusion. Because it's just, you know, when a lot of people are there yelling and screaming, not going on, I'm like, all right, well, I know my voice, I know what I think, so let me try to make my voice as big as I can.
And I'm watching from home with a totally different perspective. Like, holy crap.
Yeah, it was just one of those things that was like, I don't know if I still fully processed it, because it was just a moment where I'm glad it ended up how it did, because it could have been so much worse.
Hell yeah.
It could have been so much worse.
I can imagine, you know, I want to say that, you know, not only were you facing that just yourself, but then your wife being there with it, I'm sure, the first thing you're thinking is, holy shit, I got to keep her safe.
Yeah.
Man. Oh.
Yeah. So,
yeah, that's protector mode.
Yeah.
Go on protection mode 100% there.
Yeah. So, yeah, it was, I don't know. And just the whole time I was never there, because I always get a little bit anxious anyways in big crowds.
Sure.
And just like the whole time I wasn't mentally there. I was always just in watch out mode, because I was like, I don't know, man, something feels off. Like, it feels like we're all here. If somebody really wanted to do something, this would be the place to do it.
Had you felt that before, you think?
I mean, like, just in general, yeah. Like, even when I'm in big crowds, I'm always kind of looking for a way out. Like, I never really want to be all the way in it, but this one was just like my spidey senses were just up.
Yeah.
And it was hard to be like in the moment. And like, I think the first time when we took the knee, I kind of had a little bit of time to like kind of settle down, because at first, like, I thought about going home when we first started marching, because I live right next to the bridge.
Oh, okay.
Like, in that area. And I was like, you know what? No, just try to be here, try to be in the moment. And then when that guard went down, it went right back up, because the truck came.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. So
Man.
yeah. It was a moment. it was a moment, but yeah, we made it out and everybody saw. But like hearing accounts from people who were like, yeah, I was watching on TV and it was just like, I was like, yeah,
It was yeah. I mean, my description of what I saw isn't as amazing as what you saw, but I mean, being there. But holy crap! Like I wasn't really paying attention. I had the TV on like I did for 2 weeks straight, basically.
Yeah, it was just like something was on.
Yeah, and then I glanced up, and it was basically like when he was being pulled out of the truck. So I'll admit my perspective at first was like, holy shit, this guy's getting like I was fearing for his. I'll admit, man, I was feeling because I didn't see that he had barreled through, he came at this crowd. I just saw a guy getting pulled out of a truck, and I was like, oh my God, they're going to kill him.
Yeah.
Like I didn't
because it was just like, because nobody knew, and like all the other trucks and all the other cars that we had encountered, for the most part, like were peaceful.
Yeah.
Or like,
they might have got caught up in it, but they.
Yeah, like, they pulled their cars over to the side and were honking or whatever. There's a couple people who were like, like kind of. Like moved over one of those situations.
I'm inconvenienced.
Yeah. And this one just felt like, oh shit. And like, because I had to fight that. I want to go back to the truck too.
Yeah,
but it was just like, yeah, like if my wife wasn't there, and then like, I ran into family and friends who I know who are there with their family. I'm like, okay, this isn't. They got that. And then like you want to give it a couple minutes because I don't want to run back over there and then a boom, happens. Like give it some time and then maybe let's see what's happened. But then by that point, the police started coming down and all that stuff. So it was
freaking wild.
Yeah,
absolutely wild. I want to ask you about one more thing before we wrap this up. It's sort of connected. Big crowds.
Yeah.
In that aspect of big crowds, you and I know are big sports fans. I work at the who knows if my job ever comes back working Vikings games, but I see you at a lot of Vikings games. I want to ask you a couple things. First of all, do you think football will come back with crowds in the fall? With live crowds?
Not the full season.
Not the full season?
I don't see full season crowds happening till November or December, possibly like maybe 6 or 8 games.
Yeah. It's November. It's interesting you say November because that seems to be, right before I came here today, I was looking through some emails and like Todd Barry is coming to Minneapolis to do a show. It's supposed to be in August. They just rescheduled it for November.
Yeah.
So that seems to be the safe pushback right now. I don't know if
yeah,
that's legit or what.
Yeah, who knows? And it's just like you got to kind of watch what other major sport leagues are doing. The NBAs, they're talking about, going to Orlando. But they're coming back with 8 teams and with players, what you got, 14 guys, 15 guys on a basketball team?
Yeah.
Like, you can do that. You can't necessarily do that with the NFL.
Yeah, what are they at 60 on the rosters now or something?
Yeah, it's like 3,000 players or something. Like they're over at like 1,000 players.
Yeah.
And then you're down on the field. Like, what it takes to run a game, NFL production, even without crowds, without concessions, without whatever. There's still going to be close to 600 people on.
Oh yeah, it's a whole city.
Yeah, like just to work the games, just to get it on TV, all the cable guys, all that stuff. So, I mean, who knows? And I know that we'd be happy to see it back at some point, but then it's also like you got to think about player safety. Like it's a whole different ball game trying to be that intense for 60 minutes without the 12th man.
Yeah.
Like the crowd is, no matter how much you pump up noise and you want to say, well, it's football and you're getting paid millions of dollars and blah, 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 blah. Like you should, want to, it's like, I get that. I understand that to a point, but also it's a job.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's a very huge, important piece of it. And you might have a lapse on the play. You know what I mean? Because sometimes you're dead tired, you've been going, and sometimes that 12th man keeps your head in the game, and you might have a lapse in a moment, and that might be a ACL or an MCL.
Yeah.
Or like, I'm going to take this play off just a little bit. And so I have a feeling that, like, injuries will be very high in any sporting league this year, just because, they're conditioning.
And
you got to condition yourself, but it's it's different. Like you condition different when I got to go back to camp on August 2nd. Then I got to go back to camp maybe October 29th or maybe November.
That's very true.
Yeah,
that's very true. One, you give me a short answer for this one. Will Drew Brees get booed?
Oh yeah,
this coming season.
Yes, definitely. I mean, Drew Brees is gonna get. This was fun. I'll get out. This was like it wasn't hard to hate on Drew Brees as a Vikings fan. Like at all.
Completely.
It was just anything New Orleans Saints.
Yes.
It's just
easy.
easy.
Enemy number one.
Like so when he came out with it, like I put just a tweet out. I was like, you know what, Drew Brees is a hoe.
I know.
And then it kept building a little bit, and then he came out and he put his statement out like, "Hey, I retract what I was thinking, blah blah blah." And I was like, "Nope, screw you, Brees. Like nothing's changed from when this happened the last time." And then I put out a tweet or something, and I retweeted myself. I was like, "I lost 5,000." Or I was like, "I went from 5 million followers to like 1,000 or whatever for calling Drew Brees a hoe, and I regret nothing." And then that one really took off. And then Obama ended up following me in that day thread, because like I kind of put the phone down because like I was like, I like having fun on Twitter, but I never get caught up in those like, oh, you're going viral or blah blah blah, and I put it down. And then at the end of the night, I picked up my phone. I had all these notifications on Twitter. And then some dude was like, "Yo, man, the real POTUS is following you." I'm like, "Which one?" He's like, "Obama's following you." And then I went and looked. I was like, "Oh, sweet!" Like I called Drew Brees a hoe, and Obama followed me. So
holy fuck.
Yeah. So never underestimate. Shaming somebody on Twitter. You might get a pretty cool.
Holy crap.
Obama follow.
Well, he's getting, when we post this on social media, he's getting tagged. I can guarantee
we
that.
definitely got it. Yeah, we definitely got to tag him. And try to see. I'm gonna send Obama a Zoom link. I'm gonna DM him now.
Yes!
I can DM.
Send him one for every night, Brandon. You're on that.
Yeah, I'm gonna send him the back links and be like, "Hey, Obama, you and Michelle, check this out."
Oh, that's fantastic. All right, well, let's put a bow on this thing. Thank you for doing this.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I'm glad you're back.
Good. Thank you. So it's Thursday if people catch this on the audio version, which is all over the place. We got the video version that's on Acme's YouTube page, so you can check that out. There's a show tonight, and then 2 on Friday and 2 on Saturday, 8 and 10:30.
Yeah.
And if they want to follow you on Twitter like Barack Obama does.
Like Barack. Seiji Cole on all of the Instagram and Twitter, and then just Greg Coleman too on Facebook.
Perfect. It's been fun. Thanks, man.
Thank you.
Oh, we done.